Three guys came together and found the one piece
that would lead to the greatest discovery
from small beginnings.
Once and removed for awesomeness.
It's Panel by Panel here every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 to give you the latest and greatest, ranging from games,
comics, and anime,
and TV and movies. Yeah! So sit back, buckle up,
and get ready for an adventure for geeks and nerds alike.
Roll credits.
And welcome back once again. We have, and always will be, on the one word that we love to say, return. This is Panel by Panel. Welcome. This is your boy, DJ Ezio, on KCRadio.com, Georgia's number one online call radio station, 11. Go ahead, Mike.
It's Mike Drop.
It's John Solo. And we nailed that intro, as always.
Yeah. No,
all the time.
I really did that just because I was like, we always like start off actually pretty professional. I was like, screw that. Let's jump off that.
Every week I try to have a conversation like, no guys, let's stay on topic this week. Let's make sure everything is smooth.
me and Amara are like, da, 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 da.
I give them no. I don't. There's a reason why. Because when we used to attend this school, it feels so great to say that. But when we used to attend this school, we had no concept of trying to even stay on topic or on point. So I kind of got to a point where I was like, wait a minute, why don't I just enjoy my time and just punch right in? What the?
Yeah, apparently we're just not being us if we always do things perfectly.
I think that sounds about right.
As when Miss Page was here, we'd use the Star Wars reference, stay on topic.
Stay on topic.
Hey man, in fairness to her, she was the most easily distracted person on and off air, so.
True.
That is incredibly true.
I like how you guys were like, but that's incredibly true. I'm like, yeah, you didn't just say true. I was like, exactly.
But we may go off topic from time to time, but we always stay on point with our news, whether it be for comics, games, or anything else that is awesome.
Yes, indeed. And overall, I think we're all still kind of reeling off of Black Panther, to be honest. So, I mean, I can't not talk about Black Panther, but to save face, we're going to still at least get some of the news out the way. Mike, I know you have some probably pulled up already.
Yeah, I have some gaming news. It seems to kind of be of a dry spell until we hit the month of March.
Lots coming in March.
Now, we are still just getting a couple of tidbits of Death Stranding every now and then, because even when we get a new trailer, we still just have more questions. Just like, why? What is happening? But we are
Kojima is just messing with us at this point.
We are getting more news of Death Stranding getting cast added from people from The Last of Us and Days Gone. So, O'Brien made the announcement on Instagram by posting a picture of herself with Baker and Norman Reedus, who has also been confirmed as one of the main characters in Death Stranding. Honored to be working alongside these two fine lads on Hideo Kojima's new project, Death Stranding. Reads the caption, I'm a lucky gal. So we have, I believe, Emily O'Brien as another actor. I'm trying to see where she was from. And they also have Troy Baker joining the cast.
Troy Baker, it's my boy.
Yep.
He's one of my
everything. He
and Jennifer Hale are my two favorite voice actors in anything ever.
I mean, Troy Baker is, of course, the voice in many games that we have been known. But recently, he was known for portraying our favorite... What do we call Drake? I don't know. But he is a Drake brother, that's for sure. He is a Drake brother, and he is playing Samuel Drake. I don't know if they're going to continue with him, but I would love for it to see what would happen.
Yeah, I feel like there's still some more story they can tell with Sam.
There's plenty of story, because you got to know, what Sam's up to. Will he find that girl that he likes? I mean, it was funny if this is a spoiler for you, sorry, spoiler alert, in the Uncharted Lost Legacy DLC, we noticed that, oh yeah, he hooked up, well, he was trying not to make it look obvious, but he and Nadine's flirtatious ways between each other.
Nadine.
Oh yeah, did you not play it yet?
What? I haven't played it yet, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
I haven't bought it yet.
Oh,
You can say it all you want, but I'll be singing in the background.
I guess that will be
Oh,
another.
You know, you
game
have to
that plays
edit
with
this
roommates.
later.
Oh yeah, I do have to edit this later. Damn it.
Just try to like cut my part out. Like, just try to tune over it. Or
Well, to be
skip
fair,
over it.
usually what I can do is we're so much louder than everything else that plays on air. I can just see where the spikes are and just
That's true.
cut it right there.
That's fair.
So usually I don't even have to listen super closely.
Hey,
Although last week I did do a little bit of editing. For those of you that were listening live, you might remember we had some technical difficulties with the phone, which we have since worked out, and hopefully we'll be able to use tonight, possibly having a call-in. More on
Indeed.
that later. But yeah. Oh, by the way, Emily O'Brien, I just looked up. She was on The Young and the Restless, and she was in Telltale's Batman,
Oh,
The Enemy
okay.
Within. Yeah,
okay.
among other things.
Well, dang. I'm looking forward to that. Any more gaming news?
Let's see. Pokemon Go is still going strong with
Yeah.
the Go Community Day event that's taking place this weekend. So Pokemon Go's second Community Day is right around the corner. The real world event takes place this Saturday, February 24th, and will give players around the world an opportunity to earn in-game bonuses and obtain a rare Pokemon with a special move. I'm trying to see which one that will be. During the event's hours, players will earn triple the normal amount of Stardust for any Pokemon they capture, while lure modules will last 3 hours.
It's you will be able to get a Dratini, and I believe they said that Dratinis who evolve all the way up into Dragonite during this time will be the only ones capable of learning Draco Meteor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that really is an event that if you guys are still really into it, it can be worth it for you.
You've also got, while we're on the subject of Pokemon Go, you have, starting, I believe, today and going through the beginning of March, it looks like, you're going to have Kyogre, Rayquaza, and Groudon all available in raid battles through the beginning of March. And apparently, whichever one is battled the most will cause Pokemon of that type or of that weather type to spawn out of eggs more frequently. So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. DICE had their 21st DICE Awards that took place
course they
this evening in Las Vegas.
cares
And
about
I
DICE?
believe it was the Breath of the Wild that ended up winning Game of the Year there, which it's a little bit late for like Game of the Year stuff, but I guess
yeah, I guess
whatever.
they can
it's
still do it.
It's
Some like
technically February.
IGN level of forgetfulness right there.
Let's
Calling
see.
out IGN on a much smaller news network.
You know what's sad is like if I somehow fabricated a way to work for them, and then they would just say, "What did you do before this?" Oh,
Do you remember on February 23rd, 2018, when you called out IGN on your podcast, Panel by
sir, I plead the fifth. I have no idea what you recall or me.
You only hear us over the airwaves. You have no facial recognition.
Exactly. They have no.
Unless they want to
Actual
find like Facebook Live or whatever.
I mean, I'm only on Instagram Live, so it's not like
Hey.
they'll really want to know.
By the way, we're on Instagram Live.
We are on-
I mean, okay, look, here's the thing. They don't hear anything, like none of the music or whatever. They just see really Mike and I in the shot.
True.
Yeah, they don't
Generally
even see me.
Yeah, they don't even
I'm
know
on the
if
other
there's,
side
like,
of the
a
desk.
third guy. It could be anybody. He could
I
be,
could be anyone.
he could be an alien
And
or
anywhere.
He could be an Asian dude.
Other things that came from the
He's just gonna walk right past
Yep.
that.
other things that came up on the 21st DICE Awards for Outstanding Achievement in Animation, Cuphead won that.
Of course.
Cuphead also won Outstanding Achievement in Art Direction, which
Nice.
they should because they hand drew all those
Yeah,
things. It
for
took
real.
a long time. See, Outstanding Achievement in Character, that came from Hellblade into One of Sacrifice. Outstanding Achievement in Original Music Composition was also Cuphead. Wow, Cuphead's getting some love there.
I was
Which I'm
hoping for
glad.
some Final Fantasy
mean,
15 came out in
that's
2016. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they don't play.
Outstanding Achievement in Sound Design was Super Mario Odyssey. Outstanding Achievement in Story was Horizon Zero Dawn.
I have not played Horizon Zero Dawn. Was it good?
I played about 30 hours of it, and it's still pretty interesting. I've been meaning to get back into it. It's just and I picked up like other games, so
Yeah.
I might go back to it eventually. Outstanding Technical Achievement is also Horizon Zero Dawn. And Action Game of the Year was PUBG. Surprise, surprise.
Shocker.
Action Adventure Game of the Year, of course, is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. And Family Game of the Year, oh, that's interesting, is Snipper Clips.
Snipper what?
clips.
It's like the Switch game where like you can kind of like it's like a puzzle fitting kind of game. It's interesting. I never expected it to be like a family game of the year, but I could see that being a thing. I'm surprised Just Dance 2018 was like a nomination for that. Just Dance is like one of those games that's just like those just automatic throw-ins from like consoles.
That's like a Wii U.
I always forget that Just Dance exists. It's like it's been around so long, it's basically ubiquitous at this point.
Just Dance. That's all I think about when you say that. It's like Lady Gaga hit single from way back when.
See, now we kind of have to play that because you brought it up.
I'm surprised dance games are like still surviving in these type of environments.
Hey man,
like,
you'll never kill DDR, all right?
True.
Nothing will ever kill
I feel like DDR is like extremely underrated for a lot of games and stuff. Like I'm surprised they kind of stopped doing them.
They had to.
Fighting game of the year, Injustice 2.
Nice, go Injustice.
Racing game of the year, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which I feel like that's not fair. It's like a re-release of it, but whatever. Role-playing game of the year, Nier Automata, Persona 5 was a nomination. I'm salty, but whatever. Sports game of the year, FIFA 2018. Which all the sports games are kind of the same. I love sports, but Strategy simulation game of the year, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I will agree with that. That ended up being an unexpectedly good game. Immersive reality technical achievement. Well, that's a really specific one.
I know, right?
Lone Echo Arena. Let's see. Immersive reality game of the year. This is the same thing. Oh wait, it's just no. Okay, I guess it is like. Why aren't they the same thing? Okay, whatever.
Why is that two? I guess they wanted to give 2 awards out for the same thing.
The Dice Sprite Award, which I don't really know the achievements of that, but it's snipper clips. Handheld game of the year is Metroid: Samus Returns.
Okay.
Mobile game of the year is Fire Emblem Heroes.
Makes sense.
Outstanding achievement in online gameplay, PUBG. Not a surprise there. Outstanding achievement in game design, Breath of the Wild. And the final one is outstanding achievement in game direction, Breath of the Wild. So,
nice. Breath of the Wild just mopping up.
They were interesting categories. I mean, there were some where I didn't really know the answers to. But, I mean, hey, those are the DICE awards there.
So if you take your cues from DICE, then those are the games to play.
And that's pretty much it for gaming news for me.
We have coming up just a couple more things. We have coming up in through 2019, we have 4 more episodes for Final Fantasy 15 that will sort of wrap up the universe between the game and the 4 episodes they've already put out. They haven't confirmed that much about them yet, although they have said that the first one is going to be episode Arden, which should be pretty cool. And there could possibly be one about Luna Freya, which I hope there is, because she was in the game for like 20 or 30 minutes at
I know,
most,
right?
Maybe.
I mean, like we're 2 years
and we're
from like the kind of from the story, so I guess we can kind of talk about how like she dies like super fast.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's a spoiler for me, but it's all right.
Oh God, I forgot you didn't play through most.
What have you done?
It's too late.
It's
now.
only halfway. It's not like it's the end of the game or anything.
Yeah, it's all right. It's been too long anyway, so I kind of like had no choice but to.
I keep telling you, man. If you just want to come over to our house and play the game,
John, I've already told you that my response, which I feel like you didn't take seriously enough, I would steal your system and never give it back because I would just do nothing but play that game. And I would make sure I beat it. Then when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, yes, I would hold on to it till that time frame. I would
because
sell that.
You'd want that for the PS4, I think. I have Final Fantasy 15 for the Xbox One because I'm a barbarian.
Oh yeah, you could keep your system. that's a whole different spiel now. See, why didn't you lead with that? A long time ago, you said, "Oh yeah, I just bought it. It's gonna be on the Xbox."
I never confirmed that I got it for the PS4. Though,
exactly, but you never confirmed it was on the Xbox One.
It was funny. Like one of my roommates was talking about how he was watching somebody play like a Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough, and like he had like a facial cam and all that, and like. He could see him playing through one of the Little Mermaid levels, because of course, like in Kingdom Hearts 2, like they incorporated the whole like press buttons along with the song kind of thing, because for some reason they wanted to incorporate songs in the thing, and so it was just funny. Like he had like the pure enjoyment of like him seeing the initial excitement of him playing the game, and then he got to like the song parts. He could just see like moment by moment, just like the excitement fade away as he was playing through it.
You know, I went to pick up another Final Fantasy game, and I won't say which one because I'll be judged, but I went to get another one from GameStop just the other day from our GameStop with AJ, and I was going to buy it, and he handed me the PlayStation 3 version. I didn't realize it at first, so I paid. I was about to walk out the door. I was like, wait a second, I need the 360 one, not the PS3. And he's like, oh. I usually just assume they're for the PlayStation because you Xbox people don't deserve it.
Damn.
I was like, that was cold, AJ. But you know what?
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Final Fantasy is traditionally a PlayStation game.
True.
Yeah, like a good majority of the systems and games. Like Assassin's Creed.
You know, I still have to prepare for the fact that like Kingdom Hearts 3 is actually going to be available for like Xbox One and stuff like that.
I know, right?
You actually just reminded me. I forgot that.
Maybe I'll finally play a Kingdom Hearts game.
True. Although, just diving into that straight away, you're
That's
gonna
what I
be
was going to
confused
say.
as
I
hell.
think I'm going to have to do a lot of legwork.
You're gonna have to
before I
at
do
least
that.
watch like the 20-minute long videos.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, here's all the story you combine with that, and you're still gonna be a little bit confused. But,
I mean, your only other choice is play the game, because we don't know when the game's coming out, which obviously is not anytime soon. I think it's going to be towards the end of the year.
yeah,
Well, I could pick up that collection that we were talking about a few shows ago as well.
there are
if I
multiple
can
collections, by the way.
If I can find the time. Yeah. However many collections there are, if I could find the time to play through them all.
Like, you don't have to play like 2.8 or anything like that. I mean, they'll reveal a little bit of story, but you can kind of just probably watch a video or something like that, just saying what they were.
Yeah.
But I mean, you'd probably have to get the HD remakes of like 1, 2, and then get like the one that includes Birth by Sleep, which I think 2.5 has like Birth by Sleep.
2.5 does have Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
Namely because I had it. I have it, but my cousin's borrowing it right now.
Yeah,
Just because he didn't have any games.
Waco. I've been meaning to like catch up on Waco.
I have
That
not
sounds
watched
really
that
good.
series yet.
It's
But
really good.
as we should we just jump right into it? You know what? Yeah, why
Might
not?
as well. It's only 8:15.
Usually I never like to let it excuse me, jump right into stuff. But yeah, I have not seen the series Waco, but it is on my list still because it is about as a dude who basically ran a cult. And I think at the end
like
of it was in like Waco, Texas.
Yeah, it was like Waco, Texas in the 90s. And basically,
Yeah.
like, he was like a religious leader of this kind of sort of church group or something.
It was a
like,
cult.
Yeah, it was like a cult.
It was a cult.
I shouldn't call it church.
No
it was a cult.
sugarcoating.
It was a cult that like they had like this housing that they built by themselves in this warehouse and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
like basically, the FBI kind of has like tabs on them of them having weapons and stuff like that. And it ends with them kind of like burning the place down. And it was said that, you know, there was kind of those things like, who shot first? You know, Greedo shot first, but like they don't really know if like the cult shot first or if the FBI shot first. But a lot of people ended up like dying. They lost their home and stuff like that. So it's an interesting series, and I saw episode 1 of it.
Yeah.
I know Doug Malone, like the sports director here. He
Of course,
wanted
Doug's
to-
gonna watch a show like
I saw it together with him, and then like he saw the second one without me, which I'm salty. But, I mean, we'll see.
I
But
just know
plan on
Doug
catching
would
up.
love. You know, Doug loves sports stuff, or anything gun related.
Well, he is
True.
sports director, so I would assume he does like sports stuff, dude.
I mean, that too, yeah. But more importantly, it's just he and guns. He's like Punisher level of guns. I actually never talked to him about the Punisher. and
Yeah,
how
he loved the
felt.
Punisher.
I felt like he did. I was like the Punisher is for people who are love gun toting all the time, which isn't, again, it's not a bad thing. It's just
Yeah, all things-
I'm not a gun person.
Yeah, all
so
things
I can't
considered
deal
over
with
the
it.
last week or so. Yeah, basically what you said.
Oh yeah, with of course we won't talk about it right now.
Yeah.
because it'll askew from our show. But a general sense is that a lot of the events that have taken place within the last 2 weeks have caused a lot of thoughts.
Yes,
to
yeah,
emerge.
a lot of thoughts.
Which,
too much
you know,
for us to talk about really on here.
The whole thing about video games being a contribution to the
Okay, we
culture
can
and all
actually
that,
talk about that one because
could
that
talk-
one's really
we could talk
funny.
that.
It's still like still
best-
completely irrelevant to this day. Like the fact
best
that people still
part
bring it up.
Is the fact, though, that the president himself had the nerve and audacity, and we never get political, but he had the nerve to go ahead and say, hey, by the way, I'm very sure that video games is what's causing our children violence. Bro, if you're trying to like North Korea us
Well,
right now,
it's because he's buddy with Fox News, and Fox News is like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be political, but it's a
we
fact
can,
that
we can
Fox
throw
News.
in. These views do not represent the views of
They
our
don't.
radio. They are the views of us alone.
But it's a known fact that Fox News has always been like one of the forefront runners of them like saying, hey, video games are a problem in terms of like kids picking up bad
Well,
habits.
just the
and stuff
GOP
like that.
in general. Like Fox News is obvious. It's just
Yeah.
like the mouthpiece for the GOP anyway.
Pretty
But
much.
the GOP as a whole has been like that for a long time.
It's like where like I've seen a video of like a kid that like took his parents' car for a joyride and stuff and ended up crashing it and stuff, and like, you know, the news made a whole kind of ordeal about it where the kid's just like, you know, how'd you learn how to drive even? And he's just like, oh, you know, I play Grand Theft Auto. I'm just like, okay, first of all, that's a lie, okay? You don't learn how to drive from playing Grand Theft Auto. You learn how to drive from watching your parents drive. It may not seem like it to you, but from an eye's perspective, like, that's how your brain works.
Yeah,
like,
you learn how to fishtail and spin out and crash in GTA 5.
That's like saying you learn how to speak Spanish by eating a burrito. Yeah, no,
That's the quote of the day right there.
That's my quote of my day, because that was serious me too. Like, usually I try to like make a jest of jokes, but there's some things in life I'm just like, nah, bro.
It's just how it is.
Yeah, just like, nah, bro. Like, I get very... Look, I think the one key thing about me that we obviously know is that when I talk about video games, I don't get irate by a lot of things. There's a lot of little discrepancies. But if you're talking about in terms of violence, let's, like, recap. First of all, I'm going to say that I did a case study. I didn't do a case study, my bad. But a student who was in my class in the past did a case study on the violence in video games. It has literally no effect on your children. At all.
Well, to be fair, if you're going to let your kid play COD or GTA, then that is not the kid's fault. That's the parents' fault.
Yeah.
And
but that's all. But
top
that's a whole different thing.
Well,
We're not
yeah.
talking about like the like, what is it? The parents something organization or association? I forgot their names.
I don't really know that.
I wasn't trying to say the
association.
NRA. It's like they have it's like PCA or something. Whatever.
It's just
Basically the parent organization.
Yeah.
In general, is that you're just like, oh, my child, I should be concerned. Oh, my child is learning all this violence from school. First of all, they learn violence from what's on television because you let them watch something. That's really where violence starts, actually.
And the 1% of children who grow up with those sort of mental... What's the word I want to use here? Those instabilities. Yeah, the 1% of kids are already leaning in that direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they've had contact with real guns, not just video game guns.
Yeah.
So I mean, like
a video game gun, it's like, oh, I know how to shoot a gun, bro. First of all,
No,
that's
you
not
don't.
how you cock a gun.
No.
That's not
they
how
don't
you
show
load
you
one.
how to reload. They don't show. I mean, like, yeah, there's a reload button, but they're not going to show you how to like actually do that. They're not going to show you where safety is. They're not going to show you all this other stuff.
Exactly.
So,
I'm
I mean,
pretty
like,
sure it... Oh, go ahead.
No, I wasn't even sure where I was going to go with it really. But I mean, like, they don't really teach you the technicalities in video games. Okay, so when people say, "Oh yeah, I learned this stuff from video games," no, you didn't.
Nah, man.
I'm pretty sure it's just a deflection tactic. I really do. Like, I am... for the most part, I've grown up somewhat more conservative than most of my peer group, which I've kind of gradually moved further and further away from. But I can't get the words out because it just drives me so crazy. We know what the problem is, and it's not the fact that these kids are playing video games. All right, we know what the problem is, and I'm not going to get too much into it here because that's not really what Panel by Panel is about.
Yeah,
But
we're all about the nerds and geeks alike.
But
We're
there's a bigger issue in America as a whole that needs to be addressed, and it can't just be deflected onto pop culture. You know what I mean?
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief Spartan 117, and you're listening to KSU Owl Radio. Finish the fight. Chief out.
And welcome back to Panel by Panel, only on KSURadio.com, Georgia's #1 online college radio station, streaming live at KSURadio.com, or find us on the Radio FX app. This is DJ EZO.
It's Mic Drop.
And it's John Solo.
And we also have a special guest we haven't seen, heard from, or even acknowledged for a long time.
2 years. 2 years it's been.
He's a man of great beardness. He was known as the Ron Swanson of our radio, even though he hated that title. But we loved him and his great, magnificent beard. I hope he still has it, because he can't not have it. It's just too much.
Much shorter.
Yeah, oh God. And welcome back, John Pledger.
Hey, good to be
Yes.
here. Thanks for letting me call in.
You're always welcome, buddy. You're always welcome. You always have the ability. You have the floor, the life. I don't know why I went into my NPR voice, but we're here now, and we're gonna do this thing on our radio. I think. Are we on PvP? Whatever. We're on panel by panel. We don't care. Anyway, what else has been new with you? Since we actually have you here, we actually can talk about the game you were just telling us off air, which was Sea of Thieves. Is that right?
Sea of Thieves. It's a great game. It's made by Rare in conjunction with Microsoft Games.
Mm-hmm.
It's. I was so excited for it. My friend told me about it. He's like, "You have to get this game. You have to pre-order this game. You need to get to the closed beta with this so we can play." And I was on the edge. I was like, I don't know, pirate game made by Rare. I hadn't heard any good thing from them in like 15 years.
Yeah, since Donkey Kong Country.
So, bought it, or pre-ordered it, got into the closed beta. You had to download like 3 different applications on the computer, but got in. It is amazing. Let me tell you.
I believe it.
The biggest highlights, it is extremely atmospheric. I mean, the sounds that go into that game, and the sounds, for me, make a game.
Mm-hmm.
The ambience. Like I said, it's very atmospheric.
Well, that's what got a lot of people going for like Battlefront series and all that. Even though like that game's not as complete as a lot of people would say. I mean, like what got people
That's an understatement.
Yeah, like that's the first time Mike's ever said something casual about it.
I mean, like what got what the allurement was for that game was just like how they got a lot of the visuals and the sound right.
Yeah.
And so like that can do wonders for a game.
Yeah. No, sound is so important. I actually, because I wanted to really hear the sounds a lot clearer and a lot better fidelity on my PC rig, I went out and I dropped like $120 on like good quality headphones, and I bought a digital to analog converter. So like all the sound that I get from games and everything is like pure.
That's awesome.
And because that's sounds can make or break a game. But anyway. So Sea of Thieves is fantastic atmosphere, and you got to see what they did, how they did the waves and the water in that game.
I've been watching videos. I can understand exactly what you're saying.
Now, have you been playing with the crew, or have you been playing that game on your own so far?
No, definitely with the crew. I've got all of my friends that I play online games with. I think it's 5 or 6 of us. Are all in the beta.
Nice. Yeah,
and we've been playing crew.
Because I can imagine, like, playing by yourself can probably be incredibly different from, like, playing with the crew and all that. Because with the crew, at least you can depend on other people to, like, do a certain job for you and all that. I don't know how somebody can, like, do all, like, the ship steering and stuff like that by themselves and, like, be in combat.
Right, you get destroyed. Like, whenever you come up on another ship and they realize it's just you, they come on board, they kill you, they sink your ship instantly.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at some of the gameplay right now, man. It's very interesting. It looks like an actual like game pirate ship. It's definitely a PC game.
Have you not watched any of the clips before?
No, this water is freaking amazing, though.
Yeah.
Whoa!
No, dude, after the show, like, you should just watch a couple of videos and all that, and then just like.
Oh my god, you can jump in the water!
Jake, do you ever stream it when you play?
I have not. I don't know what the rules are around that as far as the beta goes.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, I don't know if you need to have, like, like a letter of release or something like that, because betas can get very tricky as far as confidentiality.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people stream it, so I mean,
well,
they
could have gotten releases and things like that.
That's true.
It is. It's going to be. It's going to be. Go ahead.
If it were if it was a open beta, I think it would be fine. But since it's a closed beta, I'm not sure.
That's true.
Now, and it's going to be cross-platform, right? So that PC players and Xbox players can play together on the same server.
Huh.
Right. Yeah. It's PC. Actually, when you have to launch the game through the Windows Store application on the computer, and then you have to invite people via the Xbox application on your computer too. So it's all through the Xbox network.
Nice. Because I would love to play it, because I know you have it for PC, right?
Oh yeah.
And I know that Mike's going to probably get it for PC as well.
Yep.
But I do not have a good gaming PC, so I will be getting it for the Xbox, but maybe we can still play it together.
I'm sure. I mean Microsoft really, I think, made a smart decision making it cross-platform for this game.
Oh, snap. They're about to
I think
invade the ship.
they, from what I can tell, from what I've played, they've done really well at kind of the multiplayer integration. You don't have like a HUD, right? So it's just, you just see what you see. There's a life meter, and I think there's how much ammo you have, and that's all you have on your HUD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so
which is why some people were actually getting legitimately seasick from it.
I can definitely see that. I had to look away from the screen a couple times today when I was playing it because I was like, I'm getting sick over here.
You guys need to go out there in the ocean.
I can't imagine playing this game on VR. Like that would be trippy.
I would love it.
I would vomit everywhere.
I don't get seasick. I love being on the ocean.
I've been on the boat. See, the thing, I think it's just for me because I've grown up around the ocean, and being on boats and stuff was normal to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, oh yeah, like, oh, you were traveling to an island. It's like, what? Yep, you'll be surrounded by bodies of water, and you're like, either you conquer that fear, like right then and there, or you're just like, oh well. But you know, some people, you know, don't get the choice or chance to do that, so they kind of have to wait it out and see how they feel. I mean, there's some people I know who just never been on a boat, which, I mean, it's like, why would you? You're on it. People fly everywhere now.
I feel like for people that don't get seasick, I feel like everyone should go on a boat at least once in their life because I think it's just an awesome feeling.
Yeah, go on a cruise. That kind of really does balance your nerves before you go on a small boat because being on a dinghy boat is really trippy. Not like they're dangerous, really. It's just like you got to be wary.
Yeah. When I was younger, me and my family used to go deep sea fishing, and we would go out on a little boat, you know, a little fishing boat. And I think I went 3 or 4 times, but yeah, I mean it's completely different. I got seasick one time is just because we were going through a storm, and the boat was literally just like left and right, extreme angles. Yeah. You know, and it was something. But my brother got terribly seasick. God bless him. His face was green. I've never seen anything like it.
Man,
the dude was experienced. Rugrats go wild.
We had to power through 8 hours of that because we couldn't. You know, you can't go back.
Yeah, exactly.
For the day.
Yeah.
You know.
No.
So he got seasick like an hour and a half in, and then had to sit there for another 8 hours just sick.
Oh God. Now, what do you think about like the game's longevity and stuff in terms of like what you can do? Because I know like for the beta, of course, it's a bit limited in terms of like the missions, getting the treasure chests and stuff like that. Like, do you think they're gonna have enough content to like keep people around for like a year or two?
You know, that's a great question. And with such a limited map as that one does, you're going to find yourself going to the same islands over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Going for the same chests, and you're going to find yourself grinding for gold to get, you know, what are essentially cosmetic items at this point. There's nothing that really improves the gameplay as far as making yourself or your ship stronger. It'll be interesting to see what they come up with when the full, at full launch, if there are some things that they're holding back from beta or things that they're still working on, balancing issues.
Yeah,
and I know that there's going to be a store that you can pay real money with, of course, because that's the direction games are going now.
Yeah,
and that's what John and I were talking about. Like it's actually I was talking with my roommate about this, where it was just like, you know, it looks like a really good game, but like we're still on the fence in terms of is it a $60 game or not, because we still don't know exactly how much content we're gonna get when like the actual thing comes out.
Yeah, and that's an extremely valid concern. I think the thing, if anything, that keeps it its longevity, it'll be the multiplayer aspect. It'll be going out and shooting ships and having battles, because that's the most fun part.
Yeah,
you know, especially me and my crew will go out. Me and my crew. The people I'm playing with, my other pirate companions, if you may. When we go out, you know, we get chests. Well, that's just seen as like, you know, not necessarily a chore, but it's just a goal that we have while we're going around. And when we see a ship, that's when the excitement happens.
Yeah.
You know, that's where we're like, oh, we got a ship northeast, pull up around port side, get cannons ready, somebody go downstairs. You know, it's things like that. You get to battle stations, you start working together. And, yeah, I mean, that's what makes the game fun. Getting the chests is essentially like a side quest. One complaint I do have, there are no safe zones. So when you pull into port to drop off all your chests, well, I mean, we did this today. Somebody was in port, and we sank their ship. and killed them, you know, in the game.
Wow.
So there's no safe zones, nothing like that. And I think, at the very least, you need to make, you know, how they do in World of Warcraft and Stormwind and Ironforge and places like that. You know, there are guards.
Yeah.
You know, you can kill the guards. You can, you know, kill players there, but it's tough.
Yeah, it's
and
incredibly
I think if they
difficult.
do anything, they should do that.
Yeah.
That's my only complaint so far. That and the blunderbuss is overpowered.
Ezio is just mesmerized.
He's
on
been
YouTube
watching it
right
this
now.
entire conversation.
If you ever wanted to know how easy it was to distract me as a child, it was basically like just show me something that was on a computer or something.
Are you just watching gameplay?
He's
Yeah.
just watching
that's what
gameplay
he's
as we're
doing.
talking.
That's why I've been quiet. I've just been like, I'll respond like I'm listening, but I'm just like, this is really awesome.
Now, I'm curious.
It's a great game.
It is.
I'm
It
curious,
looks like-
Jake, what you think about Skull and Bones, because in all the excitement for Sea of Thieves, I think people have sort of forgotten that we have 2 pirate games this year, which I'm sure is not on purpose on Ubisoft's part. But I'm curious what you think about that.
About what?
About Skull and Bones, the Ubisoft pirate game, where they're basically expanding on the naval combat that they designed for Black Flag and for Assassin's Creed 3. And they're turning it into a full
in
game.
the same universe?
Not in the same universe. No, it's not going to be an Assassin's Creed game as far as I can tell, but it's going to be just a straight-up Ubisoft pirate game based on their mechanics from Black Flag, essentially.
So it's going to be an original title.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't seen anything about it. I'll definitely look it up.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting because they already have all the mechanics. So I'm guessing it'll be just not necessarily a port, but just kind of a, you know, in the most basic terms, copy and paste that mechanic with newer assets.
Basically, yeah.
What was it called again?
That's Skull and Bones. That's Ubisoft's game. I believe it comes out in October. But it's going to be a lot more hyper-realistic, I think, than... I mean, Sea of Thieves is realistic in the way the mechanics work, but, like, Ubisoft is going
It is highly
for, like,
stylized.
Yeah. Rare games tend to be highly stylized, and you know Ubisoft will go for like as much historical accuracy as they can get.
They're still gonna get it wrong.
Right.
So I'm just curious. I'm curious how it'll go in October when both of these games are out at the same time.
It's basically Assassin's Creed.
Well, with the hype around Sea of Thieves, I know a lot of people have been streaming it. A lot of the, you know, like official gameplay channels. I know Funhouse did a stream. Some other people have been streaming on Twitch as well. I guess they get released from it, but I don't know. But I know there's a lot of hype around Sea of Thieves. And it may end up being one of those Overwatch versus Paladins moments.
True.
Where you have 2 very similar games, but one's, you know, Microsoft's been a little more, I guess, smart with the way that they're going about, what's what I'm looking for? Not publicity, but advertisement, things like that.
Marketing, yeah.
Community.
Marketing, yeah.
Yeah.
Getting the community involved, getting the streaming community involved. I mean, because does the Ubisoft game, is it come out with any betas, or is it still an alpha? Is there any gameplay footage?
gameplay
He's
footage is online,
watching
yeah.
gameplay footage right now, and there was a gameplay trailer. That's why I'm curious, because it's like Ubisoft tends to release either really, really good games or really, really bad games, and I really want Skull and Bones to be
no
one of the...
in-between.
Yeah, for real, there's really not. And I really want Skull and Bones to be really good, because I think it can be, but you're right, they're not pushing it that much, and I'm wondering if what they're going to do to compete with Sea of Thieves, if it ends up being as big as everyone seems to think it's going to be. So it'll be interesting.
We also have to ask the question, are they actually competing with Sea of Thieves? Or are they releasing a game that they know that, you know, people that like Black Flag and Assassin's Creed, you know, are they saying, well, that's our market and that's who we're making this for?
That's a very good point.
Yeah, the general market.
Yeah.
I mean, so far I'm just seeing a lot of ship battles, which is not bad.
They're focusing, from what I can tell, they're focusing almost exclusively on multiplayer ship battles. I mean,
that's cool. I feel like it'll lose its appeal though. I would want something that'd be a little bit more. I wouldn't mind if it was a copy and paste from Black Flag. I would still take it because just make it more pirate related at that point. Like, we knew it was Assassin's Creed as a story and everything, but like, people like a pirate game.
I think that's essentially what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to take, because everyone liked Black Flag Well, not everyone. There were a lot of big Assassin's Creed fans that did not like Black Flag, but a lot of people really did like Black Flag, and a lot of people consider it one of the better Assassin's Creed games. And I think what they're basically trying to do is take everything that people loved about the piracy in Black Flag and put it into a full game.
Now, here's my question.
Yeah.
And I'll supplement this with a statement.
Okay.
So, Sea of Thieves is a pirate game that is stylized and does not take itself too seriously. For instance, in the game, you get an accordion and a hurdy-gurdy right off the bat, and you can play music with each other. You can get a tankard and get drunk, and when you play the musical instruments, they're all messed up and out of tune and everything. And you can shoot yourself out of the cannon.
Yeah, I did know that.
It's a game that doesn't take itself too seriously. Now, my question is this Ubisoft game, is it taking a more serious tone?
That's what it seems like.
Yeah. And that's one of the big things I like about Sea of Thieves is it doesn't take itself too seriously. It understands.
That's
it's
why I like
a fun
Fortnite.
little pirate game.
Yeah.
That's all you want.
Yeah. It's been a nice breath of fresh air, just getting these fun games where you can just interact with people and stuff like that. Because we've been so used to just adoring these titles that have darkness to them, like Death Stranding that's going to be coming out soon. We've had games like Naughty Dog that have all these raw storylines that are certainly enjoyable, but we've just had so many of the same things for a while. It's nice to just shift back to this.
It's sort of swinging back around to the game first and the story second in a lot of places, where for a while it's been story first.
Yeah, we've had a lot of these games that are really hard-hitting, cinematic, emotional, rides, or really dark horror games and games that are extremely hard. These have been kind of the trend, I guess, that's been with games in the past year or two. And then you got games like Breath of the Wild. It is a Zelda game, and it's amazing. But again, it doesn't take itself too seriously. You can cook. You can still hit the chickens, and they'll all kill you. In this Pirates game, Sea of Thieves, again, doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a fun little game, and I think you're right. I think it's starting to swing back to, hey, let's make a fun game, and let's focus on the story after we make sure that it's fun.
I like that. I actually like that. But I think
why don't we talk about how PUBG has been ruined by cheaters? Just to change the subject. I've stopped playing that game completely because it's ridiculous.
I have not actually ever played PUBG, although I have played I wouldn't say a good bit, but a fair amount at least of Fortnite, and I did enjoy what I played of Fortnite. But yeah, I do keep hearing that PUBG is just a little bit of a mess right now.
Yeah, a little bit. I've been playing that game since beta, right? I got the Founders T-shirt and all that stuff. A couple friends of mine have been playing since early access, whatever. So, it started out, it was okay. Then it got incredibly popular. Then the cheaters came, and it's ridiculous. They banned something like 1 million accounts, and they've gotten so far to where they're going to have to IP lock or region lock the servers to keep people in their same servers.
That's harsh.
And it's crazy.
It's like martial law punishment.
What exactly are they doing to get banned?
Like what? How are they cheating?
Yeah, what specifically are they doing? Or
the classics like aimbots and running incredibly fast across, teleporting,
wall hacks,
seeing through walls, wall hacks, things like that. Like I said, the classics, all the stuff that CS:GO figured out 10 years ago.
I remember how Modern Warfare 2 was like that for me. That's still one of my favorite Call of Duty games and stuff because I kind of stopped playing after I guess the third Ghost or whatever. And it was just
5,000.
It was such a fun game, and then you had the legitimate cheers because I've always been used to people saying, "Oh, it's a wall hack, and then I actually see it happening for myself, where they're shooting through a wall and stuff that they're just staring at point blank, and there's people that have the whole extremely danger close knives that are like stabbing people across the map. And I'm just like, wow, these are legitimate cheaters that are ruining the game.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of, I'm going to go in here and play Sea of Thieves. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on,
Thanks
man.
for coming on.
And if you want to come on in person, please do.
Yeah, you should join us on a stream one day.
I will be in touch.
Sweet.
He'll be here.
It's really good to talk to you again, man.
All right.
Hey, you too, brother.
Have a good
See ya,
one,
buddy.
Oh God.
What was
Oh,
that?
was was it.
was that him
That was
hanging up, or
intense.
was that us?
That might have been the button that I pushed for that.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was intense.
Continuing the legacy of technical difficulties on Panel by Panel.
As we talk to our former tech director, it's like, oh man, what is up, Jody C? I see his brow. Sorry, somebody was on Instagram saying hi to me as
Yes,
we do our show.
you can watch us live on Instagram right now. I
Yeah.
believe you have it up on yours,
It
right?
is on mine right now under ProQuo Media. If you want to find me, it's PROQUO Media.
And
ProQuo.
Don't forget to visit our website on pbppodcast.com for this. I guess you're already listening to this if you're like
I know,
listening to
right?
it on there. But if you're listening to us live, you can always make sure you can listen to the edited version if you want to revisit this, or if you have to go during the live broadcast and so forth. And don't forget to also follow us on Twitch and Facebook as well.
Yeah, we'll eventually have an Instagram set up in the near future, more or less. I know that's something that we will work on.
And we will bring our Twitter back to life, because I have been telling myself that I'd be doing that, but I'll do that for
This
sure.
is all Emily's fault.
That's true. She had
She had one job.
Miss PJ was the creator of the Twitter,
How long?
and we
It's
no
been
longer
like-
have the information. So
It's been like 2 years. And I'm
2
wondering how long it's going to
years.
be before we stop blaming Emily for our issues.
I know. Right? Like 3 years later, it's just like, damn it, PJ, what have you done?
I feel like in my wedding, somewhere along the line, when I invite her, I'm just going to blame Emily for something.
We'll be like 10 years down the road, and Panel by Panel will be a successful podcast. And I'll be like, Emily, you still messed us up with social media, man.
I don't know what's going to happen or where we'll be then. I'm just going to be like, in another decade, when Marvel's like basically taken over every portion of media by this point.
You mean Disney taking over literally
Same
the entirety
difference.
of the
Same difference. We're still in the same purview.
That's true.
It's just like that time. I'm just gonna be like, I remember when I was like in my 25-year-old year. I was a horrible person. I'm 35 now. I'm still horrible, but I just want you to know, at least I'm not Emily.
damn.
That was gold. Emily, if you're listening,
She's not gonna listen. She's not paying attention. I could say anything, and she'll just watch. She's gonna send a Snapchat, something I do not have or claim to have ever again.
I mean,
probably for a
Snapchat
while.
kind of ruined themselves right now with the newer update. Which, by the way, like I think there's
What
like
happened? I don't know.
yeah, it's like the newer thing. So like Snapchat updated their like software or whatever, or like
Okay.
the way they look, basically.
Yeah.
And just like the way you access people's stories is just it's super inconvenient. Like they tried to make it look so, I guess, like up to date, or they try to make it like look like some kind of thing that teens love to look at. Like, oh yeah, like here's a whole like list of ads and shit along. Oh, whoops.
Well, there's one.
Here's a whole
It's
list
a
of
podcast. It's all right.
here's a whole list of ads and stuff along with like your friend stories, and it just looks awful. And so people made there's like 2 million listers of like people that like made a petition against like hey, we want to have the old thing back. And Snapchat actually responded to this yesterday, and they're just like, yes, we understand that this is a huge growing pain, but don't worry, we're gonna have more updates to come to like make
More
it better or whatever. It's just like, nah. So basically, you're not gonna change it back to what it was like people want, and you're just gonna have another update that's probably gonna make it worse.
See right there, they sound like PlayStation when they try to give excuses on why they fix their bugs, and then you wonder why you can't access your PSN.
They sound like like most video game developers at this point in time.
Yeah, don't
Looking
be
at
DICE.
looking at you, EA.
Oh, I thought you said DICE.
Well, DICE is EA.
oh yeah, they are the same person.
They've got like what? They've got DICE. They've got BioWare. They've got Madden. All kinds of stuff. Anyway,
Well, in the words of Kendrick Lamar from To Pimp a Butterfly and one of his most famous songs, I've been A1 since day one. You bleeps are boo-boo. Anyway, continuing on. So, We also have some more interesting news. So Amazon just announced what might be its own sci-fi Game of Thrones. I like how they
That's a
describe
bold
that.
statement.
So
That is a
I know,
very
right?
bold statement.
I know, everything is a bold statement when it comes to Game of Thrones. It's like, can you really top that?
It's like when
can
it's like
you
when
really?
It's like when people say they're going to be the next Harry Potter. It's like, no, you're not.
Or any game that's like a Rome adventure that's fighting. Like, it's the next Dark Souls. It's just like, oh
no.
my God.
Nothing's still topping
Nope.
Dark Souls, fam.
They just
Sorry.
love saying that for some reason.
But whatever, they can try. But this late science fiction author, his name is Ian M. Banks. He has a space opera.
I love those space
It's
operas.
called the Culture Series. We'll see the first story turned into an Amazon TV series. The company announced on Wednesday. So it's Dennis Kelly, who I guess is going to be the producer and showrunner, will adapt the 1987 book for a TV series in collaboration with Plan B Entertainment, who are known for producing World War Z, 12 Years a Slave, The Big Short, Moonlight, and Feud.
It's a pretty impressive resume.
Indeed. So Kelly has also been tapped to rewrite World War Z 2, which will be directed by David Fincher, of course. In its announcement, Amazon had noted that it only acquired the rights to the first book, but not the full series. So the story of The Culture is so rich and captivating that 4 years Hollywood has been trying to bring this utopian society to life on the screen, said Sharon Tal. I don't want to mispronounce her last name, but I want to say it's Uwato, head of the scripted series at Amazon Studios. In the announcement, we are honored that we have been chosen, along with Dennis Kelly and Plan B Entertainment, to consider I think it's Phlebas, I don't know, into a television series we think will be loved by fans for years to come. So again, bold words.
Do you think Amazon has like the potential to be the next Netflix within the next like 3 years or so?
I don't know about that. I do know I want to read this series though.
Yeah.
Just because its like cover is this giant ship, and
It's like the mix of a
obviously-
TIE fighter and like something else.
Yeah, it said, okay, so here's the story of how they described the first book. The story centers on Horza, a rogue agent tasked by the Idrians with the impossible mission of recovering a missing culture mind, an artificial intelligence many thousands of times smarter than any human, something that could hold the key to wiping out the culture altogether. What unfolds with Banks' trademark irreverent humor ultimately asks the poignant question of how we can use technology to preserve our humanity, not surrender it. That's interesting.
Nice.
I like stuff like
Nice.
that.
Sounds like pretty good.
That's
classic,
really
awesome.
This was in
sci-fi, yeah.
'87. Like that's what that guy was thinking. He even knew back then. Like, bruh.
Man, the '80s were the birth of so much in sci-fi. Let's be real.
Mute. So there's a sci-fi movie called Mute that I think it's just been released on Netflix, and I'm right. That's Paul Rudd is in this. But Mute tells the story of Leo, who's played by Alexander Skarsgård, a kind of short-tempered bartender who works in a Berlin nightclub circa 2015 and who cannot speak because of a childhood accident. His Amish mother refused surgery for him. Although he lived in a world where everyone seems to embrace technology to some degree, Leo keeps his life simple and prefers making wood carvings over surfing the web. When the love of Leo's life disappears under enigmatic circumstances, Leo goes in search of her, a mission that eventually puts him on a direct collision course with dangerous AWOL American soldiers, Cactus Bill, played by Paul Rudd himself, and Duck, Justin Thoreau, in the seedy environs of Berlin's criminal world. So it's a blend of noir and sci-fi infused with the elements of Blade Runner, MASH, and other films. Mute is the most personal project yet from director and writer Duncan Jones. Part of the reason it's so personal and took him so long as a film to come out, aside from Source Code, Moon, and the Behemoth, I like how they describe Warcraft as a behemoth, in the intervening years, he was trying to see if like it's seeing its meaning for him change during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely said that, like, absolutely, of course, the script was finished 16 years ago. It's just been a weird one, just trying to get to that point and push on out more stuff. They even asked like how he envisioned it at first as sort of a straight drama, then eventually evolved into a sci-fi, and it was like, hey, that kind of works. Like, you can kind of make work with that. So interesting. I think it's going to be a Netflix series, if I recall. So
thank you to Den of Geek for the information.
Yeah, it'll be streaming on Netflix actually right now, so you should be able to catch it right there. Just go right on there. Thanks, Den of Geek. Who was the author of this one? It was the writer. Sorry, it's taking me a second. Don Kay. Thank you to doing the interview with them. So on continuing, Warner Brothers, oh Christ, is planning a Willy Wonka prequel.
No!
Yeah, apparently they're looking to bolster the role of a character or two in its Willy Wonka film. Disney is currently courting Paul King, champion director of The Mighty Boosh, two Paddington films, and Bunny in the Bowl, to take charge of their new, largely live-action Pinocchio remake. Pause. What?
So are we going to see, like, the Oompa Loompas, like, turned into slaves or something in this? Like, what's going to happen in this prequel?
What's funny is I just watched the movie, too, a couple days ago, and I was just like, this movie makes me wonder if there's going to be a prequel. And then it happened, and I'm like, you know what? All right, you know what, Warner Brothers? All right, fam, I got you.
I'm just thinking of, like, the Family Guy cutaway of the Oompa Loompas and stuff where, like, he's, like, doing the intense, like, dance routine with them. It's just like, okay, and a 1 and a 2.
I mean,
Oompa,
I just love
Loompa,
the question they asked right here, which is, so is the Dahl estate of Roald Dahl, who wrote the Willy Wonka story, loosening their grip, giving WB license to spin chocolate into gold? Or are they even driving things forward somewhat? That's a great question. Who wrote this? I got it. Brendan Connolly. Shout out to you, Den of Geek writer Den of Connolly.
Does it have anything to do with the Burton chocolate factory?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
They just said that while a younger Willy Wonka will be the protagonist, there will also be some antagonists drawn from Dahl's stories. Things might change if the film goes into a new wave of development, but what we've heard is that Slugworth, Fickelgruber, and Prodnose, for those who read the book, we all need casting for this film.
I blame a Star Wars story for this. There's like a whole trend that's going now of like all these prequels that's coming out now.
This is true.
Yeah, but Rogue One was actually good.
True.
And I'm positive Han Solo will swoop in and be like, all right, cool.
Like, what's next? Stark? Where they're just going to like go over, oh yeah, this is where he used to make weapons and stuff.
I mean, they kind of did that with Agent Carter, so.
Oh, that's true.
This is like what the series was all about. Netflix movie called The Outsider puts Jared Leto in post-World War II Japan.
No, The Outsider, not The Outsiders.
True. Yes, not The Outsiders, the one that was... Well, no, that's the Warriors. My bad. Sorry.
Not the play, The Outsiders.
I know. Yes, that too. But this one puts Jared Leto in a World War II Japan, post-World War II, of course, where he's forced to join the Yakuza.
Huh.
So you can find this on Netflix. I do not know anything else about it, but the trailer has been released, and it will come out on March 9th. The official poster actually looks kind of cool.
Are we still allowed to go see movies with Jared Leto in it?
Yes. I never will blame Jared Leto for them casting him as the Joker. I feel it's just Warner Brothers.
He tried his hardest. I mean,
he did.
He really put his best foot forward. But what can you do? Ash vs. Evil Dead, a show that I thought was literally just done, but they announced that season 3 is coming out. Now, I haven't watched further past this first season yet, but I've enjoyed some of its quirky little humor because, one, I like Bruce Campbell. He's hilarious. If you've watched the Evil Dead series as a whole, Ash is always the best person.
This is my boomstick!
I just love his commentary and everything. Ash is just so savage sometimes. I'm like, why? No one did anything to you. He's like, they were natives. And I was just like, what? But in regards to this, so two of the characters who are in Ash vs. Evil Dead who end up joining and helping Ash are Pablo and Kelly. They say that this series season will be the biggest year for their characters as a pivotal one. So we'll see what's going to happen.
Is that playing Pablo? Yeah, is that who I think it is? Is it?
I gotta remember his name. I know who you're talking about.
If you gotta remember his name, then it's probably not who I think it is.
Yeah, it's confusing too. I don't know either. I gotta remember it because I really do. I know who this actor is. He was in something else, but it's gonna come to me in a bit. But nonetheless, we also have Annihilation, which Alex Garland, who is known for Ex Machina, we already know that. He put out. He's gonna do his new movie, Annihilation. Now, I don't know what you guys would think, but Alex Garland's been on fire, especially after he did Ex Machina, because that movie is trippy.
I still need to see Ex Machina.
It's really good. Domhnall Gleeson, of course, and Oscar Isaac, which this is the film they did before Force Awakens actually came out. It just conveniently coincided that they happen to be joining the same film. But overall, they have a very interesting, diverse dichotomy between each other.
Ben Stiller, that's who I was thinking, but I don't think it's Ben Stiller.
Yeah,
For Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Nah, it's
It
something.
looks a little bit like him, though.
No, but the actor, he was younger in that film. Actually, he was in Meet the Parents.
Oh, okay.
Same
Okay.
actor. I think he's pretty, like, he's only in his 30s, somewhere along the line. Because Meet the Parents is, like, from 2002 or 2004, if I recall, or so. But, yeah, after years of writing the screenplays for intelligent, provocative sci-fi films like Never Let Me Go, Sunshine, and 28 Days Later, Alex Garland made the leap into directing with his 2014 Ex Machina, his stunning tale of artificial intelligence, of course, we all know, which was hailed as one of the best. I believe it is one of the best films of the 21st century, because it actually trips you out on how serious things can get, especially with artificial intelligence, since we're now nearing that, and I'm not looking forward to any of that. I'm one of those people who's not going to be trying to kill a robot, like Westworld, cough, 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 season 2 is coming soon. I think it comes out next month. Hold up. Well, else I say that. But Annihilation, though, it did come out actually this week, and I'm really ecstatic for it because Annihilation. Oh, it's in April. Sorry, but nonetheless, it looks weird, but it looks cool.
And then it's starring Natalie Portman.
Yeah, she's been promoting this because she was on SNL the other week.
She was so great on SNL.
Oh my god, I can't believe. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing. Obviously, I watched Natalie's rap too, and that was enough.
Was so fantastic.
Anytime she's done a rap part, I'm just like, I want you to stop, but I want you to keep going.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. It's like you're not exactly a bad rapper, but I'm still slightly uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's so hard to say.
Just trust us, listeners. Go just look up Natalie Portman SNL rap, and you will understand exactly what we mean.
But in regards to that, yeah, if you have not seen it, and I was going to say Annihilation. Annihilation is out right now, so definitely go catch it. It's in theaters. Go to your local AMC or NCG, Sport Regal, etc. But nonetheless, we got that. Killing Eve. It's a new trailer which examines the spy and assassin dynamic, which pits an MI5 agent against a self-professed psychopath, which is interesting because Sandra Oh, who's in Grey's Anatomy, is in it. She really had to get out of that show. Not to be savage, it's just like she's done. She's already done. I think she left. Jodie Comer, who's in the White Queen, so she'll be playing the assassin named Villanelle against the bored intelligence of Sandra Oh.
We're gonna have a bunch of interesting spy-themed movies over the next few months.
Yeah.
We got that. We got Red Sparrow, and at some point, we're still supposed to get a Black Widow film. We'll see.
We gon' see.
To be honest, the only way I could see that being done really is if they called back Josh Whedon.
Well, they have a writer for it. They do have a screenwriter.
I mean, for directing, though.
For directing, yeah, I'm not sure about directing.
Because, I mean, as a writer, he works exquisitely well, too, but a lot of people... I really don't like that people diss Joss Whedon a lot on his writing. I'm like, he's not a bad writer. He just maybe has a different pace to it. I also love that Power has now a 5th season. That is amazing. I didn't know it was this far in. But yeah, the Killing Eve will be premiering on April 8th, 2018 on BBC America at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Nice.
That's very particular, which saddens me because then they canceled one of my favorite shows, and I was loving the pace that it was going at, which was Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
Did they cancel Dirk Gently?
They did. They canceled after the 2nd season, which was stupid. And but we're hoping somewhere in this world that maybe Netflix picks it up and does a 3rd season. Hopefully.
Maybe they will.
Of course, gents, we have not really talked too much about this, mainly because we haven't heard any jack about anything. But episode 9, the release date, has now been moved to December 2019.
I thought it was originally there.
Yeah,
no,
it's always
it was
been
actually
December 2019.
it was supposed to come out in May of 2019.
So they always do it May to December.
try.
Yeah, but they decided to push it. But they are due to start shooting this July.
Which, by the way, our boy has stated that the discussion about The Last Jedi is not going to influence his vision for Episode 9 in any way. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
And I think that even then, Episode 8 was, again, directly after something that people still do not register and are really upset by.
If we go back into episode 8, I'm going to get really upset about all the hate that it got because we're not going to do this again. We've had this
We're not
going to
open a can.
We're not going to do this.
We're not opening Pandora's box.
It's the best Star Wars movie since 1980.
I do like this because apparently he made JJ made an appearance on February 21st that they, of course, have a script, which is a big deal. Because he said now that they're shooting at the end of July, having a script in advance is something I haven't always been lucky enough to have.
Mm-hmm.
It is true. I'm writing this with Chris Terrio, who is a genius, and I'm having a great time. Thus, the latest, presumably final draft of the Star Wars Episode 9 script is set in Carbonite as pre-production readies a summer shoot for the sequels trilogy's fateful final
I still
act.
can't fully believe that they have zero information of the movie that they were gonna have before then.
I feel like Daisy Ridley knows the most.
Yeah.
Because every time everyone's asked her, she never does answer the questions. John Boyega really doesn't care. He really does not know. Oscar Isaac doesn't really care or not know.
Well, Daisy Ridley always gets gets emotional whenever she gets to work.
I know, but that's a distraction.
No, I think she's legitimately excited about it.
I think she knows, man.
Yeah.
That's what's pissing me off. I really think she knows. One reason I would date the hell out of her. But I don't know, man. It's so... I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough.
She'll tell us. And if not, she'll tell us, in 10 years.
Yeah. I like how they described her as flashpoints, as if she hasn't done other stuff. I'm going to just call her by her actual character that she was in. Kiersey Clemens, who starred in Dope, if you've never seen that film. Fantastic, by Richard Kamoya. Great film about coming of age, amazingness. It really is just basically as my friends describe it, The Wood. It's a TV series that's based around, or not a TV series, a movie that was has Omar Epps, and it's really old from way back in the day. But basically, it's also a very black film, so I know Katie's seen it. But in regards to that, she's going to be starring in Zorro reboot Z.
Can I just love the fact for a second that you called a movie from 1999 way back in the day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say old. I'm not gonna say old school. I'm saying way back in the day. My perception is man, I was a kid. When
It's old enough to where I'm not mad about them doing a Zorro reboot. I'm mildly excited about it because it's been a while since I've seen Zorro.
It's always kind of. It's just there was just.
And even then, the Zorro series is actually not the version, the Legend of Zorro from way back when. I'm talking about way back then, because it was I remember when I was watching old Disney Channel back when it actually was Disney Channel. They actually had it as it was a TV series.
No, I was talking about The Wood. You said The Wood from way back in the day, and it's from 1999. But I just thought that was funny. That's all.
I don't know. That still coincides with me. Most people were you're still young. I'm I'm literally in my mid-20s. It's very odd to talk about movies or anything. My other friend Kim and we were just mentioning this after we recorded our song this past weekend, or not this past weekend, this past week. I was just it's such a weird time. Being 25 is weird. You guys will feel it. It's just an awkward, weird time. Because you don't know what to do. You don't know absolution. It's more oh, I'm 25.
Yeah, they make
how awkward.
They make songs about being 18 and 21 and and
they
22 and stuff,
look,
but 25 is the thing. It's just
look, the only closest song that I could relate to was Blink-182. was my age again, which was Nobody Likes You When You're 23. I'm that's so right. That was a whole year of me not being liked by anybody. I tried to look for a positive note, and I was wow,
you know what?
I really
That's actually accurate. I'm looking back now. I was just yeah. If I had a year where I felt people were kind of starting to not because I do feel I'm a generally likable person, but this year has been those kind of years where it's just there are some people that kind of maybe get a wrong impression, and I'm just that might actually kind of be a thing.
I don't know. I think that's what it is. It's not they don't dislike you. They just are eh.
There's just something about this person.
Yeah, they start getting suspect about you. It's how old are you? 23.
Oh, 23, and then you're 24, and it's oh, okay.
Yeah, 24 is weird. It's either you're really lucky, like Jack Bauer lucky, or you're just yes, or you're I don't know. 24 is an interesting time. It's you start realizing a lot of stuff about yourself, And then 25 is just like weird because now you know all about yourself, but you're still young enough to not know enough.
I guess
yourself.
Mike and I will find out next month.
Yeah.
Well, you're not 25 yet.
You said 24. I'm turning. We're both turning. You're turning 24.
24,
well, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we're both turning 24 next
Oh
month.
yeah, I forget I'm that much older than you guys.
Yeah.
Man, I'm old as hell. Jesus. In other great news, things, of course, coming to Netflix because that's the world we're at right now, where everything just matters. On March 1st, we have 21 Thunder as its first season. Once Upon a Time Season 7, which is probably going to be Part 1 because I can't believe they're already putting Season 7 already up, and I'm like, yeah, it's not done. Three Amigos. Love that Disney film. Carrie, The Expendables, Ran, Quigley and Down Under, Misery, Aisha, Downfall,
Misery.
The Magdalene Sisters, Milk, Charlie Bartlett. Hey, returning to Netflix. Yeah. Rest in peace to that big guy. Oh, man, it still sucks he died at 27. Date Movie, Calvary, Season of the Witch, Chalet Girl, Tal, which is probably going to be a foreign film, I was going to say it's Pardes, okay. Species 4, The Awakening. Lao Rang, Big Mamas, Like Father, Like Son. Why is there... What? Moving on. Mirrors, The X, Oddbods, Season 1. Kazoops, Season 2. Heavy Rescue, 401, Season 1. Wow. Samdang, Memoir of Colors, Season 1. This is definitely getting into the deep foreign stuff. Hondros, Shub Amramp, Love Beats Rhymes, The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. Wow. Something Huge. Hell's Kitchen, Seasons 14 through 16.
Dear God.
Why? Porcoyo, Season 3. How Safe Is Your House, Season 1.
What?
Mary Portis, Secret Shopper, Season 3. Why is that a Season 3? Love Your Garden, Season 3. Big Dreams, Small Spaces, Season 2. Bear Grylls, Survival School.
Bear Grylls.
Through 2.
Improvise, adapt,
I know,
overcome.
Fly Me to the Moon. Kill Command, Under Siege 2. Dark Territory. Ice Age, The Meltdown.
Oh, God.
The Doll Life, Season 1. I Am Incense, Season 1. Fairground Attraction, Season 1. This is all on March 1st, by the way, guys. I'm not going to go through this whole
Yeah,
thing.
because I'm looking at the scroll bar. I'm just like,
It's
oh my
just
God.
going on and on and on.
I like how it simplifies itself by March 3rd, though.
We're only on like March 3rd.
Hey! Voltron Season 5 on March 1st. Gang!
We all know
Squad.
that the only thing that really matters that's coming to Netflix in March is
Oh, it's
Jessica
March
Jones.
2nd.
Exactly.
Basically. Bachelor's Girl. I don't know what's happening now.
Just move on.
I am.
We're way out in the strange side of Netflix.
Grown
now.
up.
Speaking of Netflix, though, I know Ezio and I finally got to watch Full Metal Alchemist, the movie that came
You know,
out.
it's funny. I didn't finish it, but I did watch it. I just stopped at like
What was it, like halfway
I
point?
had
or something?
50
Like
minutes left, really.
50 minutes. Yeah, so it's
It
about
was
like
pretty-
halfway point.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
What did you think about like everybody's performances in that movie?
Ed is not as Ed as he should be.
Yeah, I agree.
Al is pretty accurate.
Yep.
To a T. They always get Al.
Surprisingly, I really liked Winry.
Yeah,
was pretty
Winry
good.
actually made me laugh. I was just like, why isn't she blonde?
Roy Mustang was kind of okay. Like, he was kind of himself, but not really.
Yeah, he didn't feel right.
Hughes was perfect.
Yeah, the guy they got for Hughes exactly to a T. I feel like they just said, so this is Hughes. You really don't have to do a lot. Just be like that. And he was like, okay.
The biggest surprise in terms of character and like how they used him was Shell Tucker.
Yes.
Because I was just like, he did not do this much in the
Nope.
anime. But
He was pretty chill and always
eh,
sitting out.
especially because you didn't see like the second half. I was just like, okay, this is interesting how they did the second half, because like they merged some parts of the latter part of the anime and they like kind of kept the beginning the same. Then there are a couple of characters they omitted, like Ed's teacher wasn't there.
Yeah.
Scar wasn't there. And I guess they're saving that for a second movie. So I think they're probably going to try and do a second movie or something like that.
Probably.
I mean, so compared to Death Note, they did a pretty good job. Like they paid homage pretty well to a lot of the things that they did.
Yeah.
You know, I think they did take a few liberties with it, and like, you know, from the people that I was watching with, like, we were pretty much okay with that for the most part. Just like Ed, it just felt like Ed was overshadowed by the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
you
Which is
know.
weird considering he's the protagonist.
Yeah, that I kind of wasn't okay with. But I mean, for the most part, they did an okay job. I saw the Bleach trailer that we put up there, and I don't know what to expect from that. I'm not expecting it to be as successful as Fullmetal Alchemist one, but I don't know. Who knows? I mean, we'll see. I mean, I've never been that high on Bleach to begin with. I like the anime for the most part until they rushed the creator to eventually end the manga a lot sooner than they should have. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. In terms of rushing, though, we do have a return and confirmation from Chris Tucker himself, who says Rush Hour 4 is still very much active as a project.
I don't know how I feel about it because
I do want one more.
I loved all the Rush Hour movies, and it doesn't really seem like a kind of thing where it's just I feel like any of them will be tainted if they go through with the fourth one. So you know what? Why not? Because Rush Hour is always supposed to be just a fun movie overall.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to expect cinematic brilliance or anything like that.
Nah, it's kind of just really the comical humor between a black and Asian dude.
And we could use that kind of humor because we don't really have a lot of movies like that these days right now.
I feel anything that with Jackie Chan and it's just you can just watch it and it doesn't really matter if it's good or not. It's just the fact that he's in it, you'll enjoy it anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I mean, he just apparently did a sci-fi film back in December outside of The Foreigner, which I still haven't watched. I need to get to that because I really do want to watch it just because I just want to see him beat ass. It's just always awesome, especially because it's him going John Wick on people, and I'm like, oh, great.
In terms of comic news, there is so basically Marvel's Avengers writer, he's going to be changed to Jason Aaron. And so there's going to be a couple changes with it. One is that they're going to be bringing more core members of the Avengers back into the comics of recent, which is good. Because to me, I mean, when it comes to how Avengers are done, the lineup of the Avengers with the comics changes almost every 3 months. So they rotate a lot of people in, which is cool. Everybody gets to be an Avenger every now and then, but it gets kind of tiresome where it's just okay, can we at least have a bit more consistency? So core members like Thor, Steve Rogers, and Tony are going to be back, which I'm glad we get to have them back on the same team. And Scott Snyder is the director or the writer for all of the DC Justice League comics, which how ironic that a guy named Snyder is the writer for DC. But these guys actually had an exchange on Twitter where they're congratulating each other for being writers and stuff like that for the respective franchises. And they're just I would love to do a crossover with you and stuff like that. And you know what? I'm really excited for that, because sure, you're going to have those comic fans that are just oh boy, I wonder who they're going to do, where it's going to be who beats who or whatever. But I'm excited for it because it's been years since they've done a Justice League and Avengers crossover. And it'll be interesting just to see them take a crack at it for once. Because I think it's been since the 80s or 70s since they did a crossover or the 90s.
Probably.
So
yeah.
I'm excited if they really go through with it. It's not really I guess confirmed yet if it's really going to be a thing. It's just them talking to each other on Twitter. But I hope they really do go through with it.
Sorry, I was just looking at other stuff. Yeah, I was half scrolling why?
I mean, we knew this was going to be a more chill show.
There's
this
one
week.
more.
I mean, there's some lightheaded stuff right now. So I was looking actually at Jurassic World, which they have finally announced that the third film and the final one in this new trilogy will be out actually on June 11, 2021, which is so weird because I was oh my god, that is 3 years away.
Wow.
Yeah, think about it, right?
Wow.
It's we're right around the corner from a lot of stuff. I'm Avengers is literally right down the road.
I know. I can't wait.
And then we have the following films. Then we have a brand new trilogy of Star Wars after this trilogy.
After we already had the brilliance of Black Panther, it was just you know what? I'm actually wondering if Infinity War is going to live up. I don't know what's going to happen. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what movies are going to deliver, if anyone's going to fall short at all this year.
On the subject of Spielberg, there is one more piece of movie news that I'm really excited to talk about. It won't be much to talk about. It's more just an announcement. But Mark Hamill is getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. They're going to dedicate it on March 8th at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, which I believe is 3:30 our time.
Huh.
Is it 3:30, 4:30? I don't remember.
We are further ahead.
Is it PM?
It's 11:30 a.m. Pacific time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they're doing it at 8 in the morning.
Oh, we're
ahead.
We're ahead.
We're ahead.
Right.
So 3 hours behind.
So yeah,
So
our time 8 a.m. on March 8th. It will be dedicated. I believe 8:30, March 8th. They're gonna do it. So I'm just really excited for him because he's just such a cool guy in so many ways.
He just doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, exactly. Throughout all the years that he's been, all the different things he's done, he's just sort of remained this just sort of humble, dorky guy that he is. And he's awesome. I'm happy for him. I really am happy for him that he's getting this finally.
Nah, it's gonna be good. Other little news. I mean, I'm trying to think of anything big happening. I know that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is about to hit its 100th episode, so it's about to be a big deal. Doctor Who has finally unveiled their brand new logo, which is
really cool.
Awesome.
It's super cool.
I thought it looked cool. I mean, I was like, I'm getting tired of Moffat, to be honest. So I'm liking that they're like, bruh, and just erase that.
That was an interesting sound effect.
I don't know. Where did I get that from? I don't know.
We gotta remix that somehow.
Boom. Remixed. I love how I can come up with stuff like that.
Hey, it's my girl Jessica.
Yeah, JJ, we already know that she had a new trailer recently put out. We do know that she's coming back. We do.
That is also March 8th, I think.
What, JJ?
JJ.
Yeah, it's March 8th.
Yeah,
I am still bouncing this damn ball.
I would be mad, too, because it's like, you have superpowers. It's like, why am I bouncing a ball? Of all things I could be doing. I could be tossing a truck. I still do have high hopes for JJ this season because I want them to showcase how much stronger she is than Luke Cage. Because I think that's what, and we've talked about this before, but I love bringing it up anyway because we always have an interesting discussion about it. Is that we don't know Jessica's limits.
True.
And if she would just stop drinking, we could find out more.
But
which
if
is
she
funny
stopped
because we had a
drinking, would
conversation
she be
about
Jessica
alcoholism
Jones?
on the way in because I was like, John, blah 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 blah, and you're like, that's true, but we're not as bad. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
I mean, that's the thing. It's just I like Jessica Jones as a character and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see her as a fighter. Because I was rewatching a couple of clips of Defenders and I forgot just how much she stole the spotlight in terms of her lines and all that. It's like, Jesus, am I the only one that doesn't know karate around here?
I mean, look, she knows how to fight at least. She's got a bit of a heavy streak. She doesn't know how to fight, and I think that's something that they're going to start addressing very soon is that JJ doesn't have training. She can't just rely on her strength forever. She's got to know how to throw a punch. She doesn't know how to throw a punch.
Oh, guys. Finish your thought, and then I'll mention this.
I mean, it wasn't really much of a thought, more just a transition of JJ, I hope they kind of give her a little bit more wiggle room to showcase her strength.
Yeah.
And that's something that I want overall.
The reason I spoke up there is because we never mentioned the fact that they revealed a Kitty Pryde movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember I was reading somebody's Twitter and they're mentioning about Kitty Pryde. I'm just like, why are people talking about Kitty Pryde right now? And apparently they're doing a movie, which that's interesting. Kitty Pryde is one of those people on Marvel Comics where there's this one particular writer, and it might have been the guy that wrote for Miles Morales Spider-Man, to where he liked dealing with Kitty Pryde sometimes, to where she even had her own run as leader of Guardians of the Galaxy in place of Star-Lord for a while. And apparently she's getting her own movie. I don't know. I haven't heard much about her. Or anything like
apparently she's getting a film set in the X-Men cinematic universe, which I don't really exactly know what that means now that Disney owns that. I guess it'll still be following the already established X-Men films. It's going to be Tim Miller, I believe, and Brian Michael Bendis is penning the script.
It is Bendis, because Bendis just loves Kitty Pryde for whatever reason.
So that's kind of cool.
He said for whatever reason.
A lot of people were negged out by it. I thought it was okay. I'm kind of glad that he gets a random character like her and gives her a spotlight, because not everybody gets that treatment. So
it's interesting for sure.
Who knows? But I mean, in terms of other great, fantastic females who are on screen, we do have some more of your girl John Solo, which is Jenna Coleman.
Bay number 2.
Wow. So Jenna Coleman, if you didn't know, she actually dyed her hair blonde for this new series. It's a BBC One drama called The Cry, and it's interesting because the details. They're like, sorry, I'm just looking at it what? It was written by Jacqueline Persky, and it will be directed by Glendon Even. The forthcoming drama series looks to set it's set to take us on a heartbreaking emotional roller coaster. Tissue's at the ready for this one, it looks like. And they said, here's the release synopsis. So Joanna, which is still not far from Jenna, so they didn't skip a beat, and her husband, Alistair, who will be played by Ewan Leslie.
I thought you were going to say Ian McGregor for a second.
Nah. What? There are a lot of people named Ewan out there, man.
I know.
Share their... but yeah, they travel with their baby from Scotland to Australia to see Alistair's mother, Elizabeth, and to fight for custody for Alistair's daughter, Chloe, against his Australian ex-wife, Alexandra. However, when they arrive in Australia, Joanna and Alistair are forced to take an unthinkable tragedy that changes their lives and their marriage forever. It is the catalyst for a journey into the disintegrating psychology of a young woman, exposing the myths and truths of motherhood.
Sweet.
That's also dark, man. What
That
the
is
hell?
super dark.
Is she gonna kill somebody? Like, what? That's messed up, bruh. That's messed up, fam. Anyway, depressing, mic drop at the second. Because I've never seen him mourn anything than right now. And that is Sonic the Hedgehog gets a 2019 release date.
I'm so terrified.
November.
This was my dream as a kid, and then now
It's just horrible as an adult when you start realizing stuff. And you're like, this really can't happen.
This
or else.
is a nightmare.
After its existence was revealed back in October last year, Sierra Blue, our original story, we now learn that Paramount, of all people, has
What is Paramount doing these days?
sleeping, Transformers, sleeping,
Transformers.
still letting Michael Bay live. They haven't sniped him yet.
It'll be an explosion.
It has to be an explosion. You can't go
Yes,
any
I
other
know,
way.
right? I feel
With
like
a pickup
that's gonna.
truck and
I
a
feel like
funeral.
that's when they. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. Like when Michael Bay dies, they just blow it up, and I'm
No,
like,
I feel like
yes,
I feel
that's
like
what I wanted.
When he dies, there will be an explosion regardless. Like he'll just keel over and it'll just explode for no reason at all, and it'll be great.
Like he's gonna
Explosion.
I'm pretty sure he already has like a letter to somebody. Just be like, look, listen, I want it to be a regular funeral and all that, and I want you to bury me and all that, but I want my coffin to be filled with dynamite. So when everybody walks away, there's just this huge explosion that happens.
Oh my God.
I would, if he did that, I would actually respect him a little bit more than
I would
do
totally.
now.
I would be thoroughly disappointed if it doesn't happen now.
For sure. Please do that, Michael Bay, when you eventually pass away. If you're listening to the show, which I'm sure you
I
are.
hope to God he puts him like. Anyway, November 5th, November 15th,
Back to
2019
Sonic the Hedgehog.
is the release date for Sonic the Hedgehog. And previously, back in the early, they try to give you the history of Sonic the Hedgehog was a video game big enough to be considered a viable rival to Nintendo's unsaleable Super Mario. The Blue Mammal's debut game, a platformer with an eye-catching turn of speed, was a stark contrast to the measured pace of Mario's adventures, turning Sega's console, the Mega Drive, or Genesis in the U.S. Oh, God, I forgot that name. A trendy alternative to Nintendo's system, the Super NES. But I love how they said shelved after years in development at Sony. Moritz, who is the guy, found a new home for Sonic the Movie
Sony's
project.
just picking up all the video game movies.
And he's serving as executive producer alongside Deadpool director Tim Miller.
Oh, okay.
According to Hollywood Reporter, their movie will be a mixture of live action and CGI, with Jeff Fowler making his feature debut.
So is this going to be as weird as Sonic 06 when he has like a kind of sort of human girlfriend or something that's going to be weird? Because I don't know, like I remember as a kid I was just like, you know what, they have all these live action movies with like other people, why isn't Sonic getting one? And now like I'm just like, please don't let this happen. But oh God, it's just gonna be weird. I'm already just hearing, I can already hear in my head, hey, Sonic here.
I love somebody's comments here. Somebody was like, oh well, at least we still have Sonic Mania. And I'm like, I could just hear the depression in that.
If they don't open this movie with a little short of Sonic coming on, it's be like, hey, everybody, I'm going to be legitimately disappointed.
Remember, don't have your phones out. That's no good.
How about an old man Sonic kind of deal set after the events of all the canon games, whichever the hell those are, teaming up with various surviving allies from over the years to bring down Robotnik one last time or something.
So, like, what, a Logan
He's still fast
Sonic
and
the
all.
Hedgehog?
Yeah, he's still fast and all, but aging.
R-rated Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh my God. Worst studio it could be involved with. Damn. Oh, damn. I'll happily kidnap a child to go see this.
Dear God.
Even if it turns out to be one fifth star pipe of rubbish. Sonic took up way too much of my early childhood not to see it. Live action. And then it's just Ryan Reynolds going, but why? But why? I love it because it's from National Lampoon's Van Wilder, and I love that film. It's just so bad. For anybody interested, there was a 90s Sonic anime movie that was quite good. It was. It's on YouTube. I'll keep an eye out for this film, but hopes will be low. It may be a long time since the days of Sonic Mania. Really, Ryan? The game just came out. Wink. Anyway, the point is that a lot of people have had some, as well as Mike Drop, and probably myself, some interesting weirdness about it.
Yeah.
Overall, oh, hey, Alex. Sorry, I just got distracted by potential bay number 1. Overall,
I thought you were only focused on like one person right now.
I am. That was her.
Oh, okay.
That's her name.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Point is, though, is that we. So let's talk about
That
a
was
few
such
things.
a smooth segue, man.
It was, but I want to talk about briefly Altered Carbon before we talk a little bit more about Black Panther as the final roundup, which is, I love Altered Carbon. If you guys have not finished it, it was really intricate in terms of storyline.
I keep wanting to read the book first, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll just go to the show. I don't know yet. I really want to read the book first, I think.
I guess that makes sense. Like,
You got to continue to the trend of like being the one person on here that
Being
like,
the only
continues
person
to
that
read books.
that reads books.
he's trying really hard, and I love the best part about it is that your wife herself, she herself was like, I didn't even try anymore.
I like
just
to
started
think-
listening to audiobooks, and I'm like, at least you did that.
I like to think that I make up for like not reading a book for certain things by like being one of the only person that like reads the comics of certain things. So,
Yeah.
I
we
mean-
all have a specialty, I guess.
I mean, mine just TV and anime and movies that people will probably never know of.
To be
surprisingly.
fair, I do almost exclusively just do audiobooks these days. And it might be because I read for a living now. That might be the reason, but I don't know. I
mean, you're a more efficient person who's going to be a writer between the two of us. I'm more of like, I have to watch. Like, the one thing I learned, at least as a person who was studying screenwriting and still plan to, is that when you learn about reading, you have to be able to read people's works.
Yeah.
Like the script. Like, that's
Yeah.
for us what we have to do. Like, how is that appealing to you? And I've seen it was funny because I was rereading some other scripts the other day, and I was just like, this is so bad. And I was just like, this could have been better. This could have been better. I'm very sure they cut this scene out right here, but because that happens with some scripts, you have to cut out a scene or two, and you're like, wait a minute, continuity made no sense. Because like, I read the original pilot for Atlanta, and I was looking at then the show, and I was like, they took out like literally, I think it was like only about 40 pages long that Donald made it, but realistically he cut it down to 30 minutes tops. And I was like, that was really good. I thought it was going to just be a bunch of jargon and all that. It was like, no, there's continuity in following him. And that's like, Atlanta is the embodiment of how I imagine certain storytelling, like, because it's so very real, but you're also like kind of living the character's point of view. Like, he's kind of like, oh, I'm doing this, or oh, I'm doing this. So overall, it's been, hi Alex, thank you for tuning in. You're wonderful. Keep looking gorgeous. I know. I have those moments. It's very rare. But I don't know. I think that the way you actually listen to audiobooks, because I like to listen to music, but I also like to listen to audiobooks, is how storytelling is. Like, that's kind of, you got to find that mesh between the two.
I find that when I listen to the books, I sort of subconsciously retain a lot of stuff, because when I'm trying to write a lot, I read a lot, because you sort of have to, especially when you're trying to write books, you have to read a lot of books to sort of keep yourself. I feel like it sort of keeps me at the level that I want to work at, even though I'm a long way off from being any sort of professional.
I think audiobooks might be a kind of thing that I start doing more often, because like I've been
really like it.
I've been trying to do a thing where it's just like I'm kind of falling out of love with music, which sounds really sad, but it's just like, a lot of music that's out right now, like, it's just not my kind of thing. So I'm trying to find like different things to listen throughout the day. And like, yeah, I've always listened to like sports radio and stuff like that, but eventually I kind of get tired of that too. So I mean, like audiobooks is probably a good alternative for me when it comes to that.
I think so. I go back and forth. Like for long periods of time, I'll just listen to music and stuff when I drive, or I'll just listen to podcasts. And right now, I'm sort of in a phase where I just listen to audiobooks.
Yeah.
It just kind of goes back and forth. When I get bored with one, I'll switch over.
And I mean, I guess from that point, that's what actually brought me over here to this statement. So I love how they said the coolest tribe in Wakanda doesn't have vibranium in Black Panther. So we got the probably two most thugged out dudes ever. And of course, I like how this guy began it. T'Challa may be king of Wakanda, but M'Baku and the Jabari were the real stars of Black Panther. In an interview, actor Winston Duke, who plays, of course, M'Baku, reveals that the Jabari are independent and on a totally different resource than vibranium, which has also enabled the brutish Jabari to thrive technologically. That resource, it turns out, is wood.
Witness the strength of the Jabari firsthand.
I'm just kidding.
But overall, and that's what brought me down over, is like, you know, this is something we didn't get to interrogate deeply in the film, but everything for them is based around this Jabari wood that comes from the sacred tree. And that he explained. And then in the movie, his throne room is designed with the type of modernist, minimalist, polished wood, which is supposed to be Jabari wood. Everything in Jabari land is made out of this sacred wood that can essentially go toe-to-toe with a vibranium sword or a vibranium weapon, because it's this tempered, strong, treated wood.
Dude, I would have like wanted an extra 5 minutes for that.
Just to learn that, yeah.
Yep, and they're not against technology. They're against vibranium. Their society is based around Jabari wood. And then I like how he further explained the dogmatic origins of the Jabari wood, which may be, in fact, wood with vibranium infused with it. In the CGI prologue, it is explained that the vibranium meteor spread the metal across all of Wakanda. It did. They believe it was given to them by Hanuman, the ape god. Meanwhile, which, of course, if you he's man-ape, for those who want to find out.
Yeah.
That's his superhero.
They just didn't want to
identity.
incorporate that in the movie.
Probably not yet, because
it's
it's the origin story, too.
Yeah.
So it's like they have no reason to get to it yet. But meanwhile, the people of Wakanda will say, no, it's actually the vibranium that's seeped into the wood. That makes it stronger. You have this whole divergence of ideas. They're quite technologically sophisticated, but it's based around wood. So, yeah, I like that. And then they said, he's M'Baku's technically a villain who leads a cult of white gorilla worshippers. Again, proving my point, and this is why I think I like Disney's approach with how they now choose certain actors and all that, is that not everybody's a villain in the Marvel universe. Everybody's just an antagonist.
Yeah, and they have their own like agendas and whatnot.
Everyone's had their own issues, agendas, all that.
That's why like I love like Wakanda so much in this, because like they portrayed everything so well in terms of how they view things, in terms of like what all the politics are like. And that's why like I scoff at the people that are just like, you know, Black Panther was just so good, but I just wish it didn't have so much politics to it. I'm just like, dude, if you read the comics, like Wakanda is all about the politics. It's all about how they run their government, how they run things and all that. Like I may not have read that many solo issues of Black Panther and all that, but like I've known so much about Black Panther just because of how like they integrate him into stories. And whenever there's a major event going on in the comics, whether it be Civil War or anything like that, whenever they go to Wakanda saying, hey, can we have Wakanda's help? Most of the time, he's like, nah, this is Wakanda. This is not our issue. We keep things in-house. We don't like dealing with other people's issues and stuff like that. Which is why like it's kind of interesting the kind of point they have with T'Challa. It's probably because he's also younger in this, so he's still kind of learning how he wants to be a king and whatnot. But it was kind of surprising. It was just like, you know, he's really open towards like opening up Wakanda and stuff, which that's probably going to get him in trouble in Infinity War, but we'll see. But I mean, like, I really liked how they portrayed Wakanda and all that, and like how different people thought what Wakanda should be like and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been kind of interesting to watch and witness. It's very confusing too, I think, with what's going on in terms of what's leading to Infinity War, because the last things we saw with every character was kind of like, this is it. Like, this is all you get for like the next couple months. It's like, what? That's it? It's like, yeah, you get Black Panther and it's like, done. You're like, you kind of just like go, what just happened to my world? And it's like, nah, you're good. So this is the reasons why I tell people I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. also, as well as Jessica Jones and like any of the TV series, because people are like, I just want to watch the movies. I'm like, they're like, oh well, we don't have time to watch the movies or shows. I'm like, if you have enough time to binge watch a show like Frontier,
right,
or watch Stranger Things, it's only 8 episodes. Shh, stop.
And I'm just saying, if you're one of those people that like have seen all the other Marvel movies, and for some reason you're just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna skip Black Panther. I'm just saying it's a little weird, all right, because this is a pretty good movie in terms of like it being on its own for one, but it's also like still kind of important to what's gonna happen later.
Yeah.
So,
and this is where I also was kind of curious. So my question in that, which was perfect because we can wrap 10 minutes around this, is that it's funny how some of the people we've talked about and other people who've kind of mentioned it, they've gone, what is so important about Black Panther in terms of a film? Like, it may not be a mega blockbuster like summer deal with, or what have you. Mm-hmm. That's what Avengers is there for. But it's like, how do you think this film will stand a testament of time, like on its own, like not as just a Marvel movie, not just as like a black film, all that, because people are looking at it only like that. But what do you guys think as a film alone? What do you think by ratings? How high would you like keep it in that?
It's still going to like, forget the tomato meter.
It was like that thing you posted on my wall. That's why I'm asking that question, where we were talking about Moonlight and Get Out being like quality. And I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking.
It was like, it was a post to somebody saying just like, you know what, for those people who say, oh, you never support black, like, you never support black enterprises or like something along those lines. It's just like, yeah, Black Panther is an example of like why that's a bunch of rubbish. And I'm not here to like dump on like anybody else's like creativity and stuff like that. But it's always like, I've never really got the whole vague response of I was like, oh, like, black industries aren't support or anything like this. There are certain things where it's just like, maybe we just don't like some of the things that people create,
Yeah.
When it comes to Black Panther, yeah, they did have good marketing and stuff like that, and they were able to put it more out there. But, it's still a good enough film to where people were able to recognize it. If it wasn't that good, then we wouldn't be talking about it that much, to be honest.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's just, it's gonna be a film that I think people will discuss.
Yeah.
I think now that
you're gonna have plenty of black girls and like black children in general who are gonna be able to like go to Comic-Con and be like, hey, I'm Wakandan and stuff like this,
which is awesome.
You haven't like had a response like this in a while, to where you truly have pride in like the kind of things that they created. And some people are just like, oh, I don't see the big deal. Like, they could have done that before, or, like, with representation was never a problem, which is rubbish. But, I mean, like, it's just one of those things that you're probably not going to get if you haven't been in that kind of scenario. And I hate saying stuff like that, which is like, oh, you just won't get it. Because, like, I don't want to create this kind of thing where it's just like, you'll never understand kind of thing. But it is one of those things where it's just like, if you have lived the kind of lives that we've lived and stuff like that, then you'll understand why, like, having this kind of representation matters. And whenever people hear, like, representation matters, they automatically start getting triggered as to, oh, yeah, I don't want to talk about politics right now. It's not, not everything is about politics when you're talking about having somebody who looks like you be portrayed as a hero. It's just a matter of feeling good.
Yeah.
That's the whole crux of it, really.
And the film, I don't know. For me, the film is monumental by many leagues. Not just because it represents the enculturation, even though they blended like 5 different cultures into this film. And I've described it as basically my family if they had superhero powers, because it really is. But the film, it's not, as Griffey was pointing out, The Godfather. Of course not. It's not going to be. I'm trying to think, like Citizen Kane. It's not, but it's a film that's like each director is very different. That's one thing I loved about it, is that we saw Ryan Coogler's style. Like he is very much like, I know his signature style now. Not the fact that Michael B. Jordan's in it, but most directors, it's kind of like, how do you tell a story in your movies? And some people probably have never seen it. Like when we saw Ant-Man, this was just like, what? Like, no one believed it would be successful. Boom. It was one of the summer blockbusters. Spider-Man: Homecoming. They literally like picked a guy who only did like one indie film, and that was it. Like he had no other thing to his name, but he was basically given the budget to be like, do what you want.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy. If you weren't somebody
if you
that
never heard of
read
James
comics,
Gunn before that was my thing.
Yeah.
If you just didn't know about James Gunn, you would have after that point.
you didn't know about James Gunn, and Guardians of the Galaxy in general is like one of those heroes where it's just like nobody really knew who they were unless you really read comics back in the day and stuff like that. But like everybody else is just like, they're not the Avengers or anything like that. They don't really like participate in that many things. Like you weren't gonna know about the Guardians of the Galaxy, but then the movie came out, and now they're like one of the staple people in Marvel now.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows. They're like, oh wait, what are the Guardians up to? Boom, and you're like, oh damn, okay. I don't know. For me, I think I was one of the people who was really excited about that film when it was starting to come out, because in the beginning I was just like, this is very weird. Because obviously the first teaser trailer, just like, what?
It was bizarre.
It was just so left field that it was nothing that Marvel had ever done before. It was just like, what is going on over there?
The choice in music for the very first time was just like, what is going on? This is oddly working.
How are you going to start off with hooked on a feeling as the staple point of a movie
in space
as a space opera that we witness in a comic book universe? It was like, well, we're doing it anyway.
We're doing it.
I'm like, all right.
We're just seeing the first trailer. I just remember just like seeing the trailer for the first time, and it's like everybody's in space and all that. You see this awesome world, and all you hear is ooga chaka, ooga chaka, ooga chaka. It's like, what is going on?
I mean, it's just, it's tragic, to be honest. It really is tragic. I'm really trying to figure out how to phrase it, because it's just like, I was reading something else on comicbook.com where somebody was like, Marvel, stop. DC's already had enough, and they're already dead. I'm like, yeah, they're trying, because, okay, so right now, Flashpoint, they still don't have any of the directors signed on officially.
Oh, God.
That's one. Two, the Shazam film, I don't even know if that's going to even happen at this point. I'm trying to figure out how they're fleshing the money for that. Three, it's like at the point with WB that they might be strangled, like, I don't know, man.
The Rock is supposed to be Shazam, right?
He's Black Adam.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Zachary Levi, who's playing Chuck, is actually going to be Shazam.
I was going to be worried about chemistry with like the rest of the characters if he was going to be Shazam. I was like, I don't think that's going to maybe work out too well. But
oh man, it's somebody even put like how Stephen Amell teases the shit that Arrow fans have been speculating, and they're like, back when Arrow's worth watching, and it was his first season get up, and I'm like, that's messed up.
I feel like DC should have jumped on this a lot earlier than they did if they ever wanted to.
They literally have had A, the time, B, the budget.
Yeah.
Like, even though Smallville was pretty, like, looking back at it, when I keep watching old episodes, I'm like, okay, it kind of was like weird, but Smallville proved that they can bring superheroes together and cast together and cast them correctly.
Their mistake was thinking too big picture. I mean, like, it's weird because like Marvel was successful because they thought about big pictures, just like, okay, we're going to do that. But the thing is, like, WB skipped way too ahead to the big picture. They should have just kept on focusing on solo movies, and put the heart into the solo movies.
Yeah, eventually.
And instead, they're just like, we're just going to toss this in. It's going to do well because it's Batman. He's going to be fine. But now they can't keep a director for Batman. They can't even keep Batman himself right now.
Nope.
So
it's like, at this point, you might as well just, I honestly would just say, like, DC, what you need to do, take 5, relapse.
Cash all your chips on Wonder Woman.
And have that Michael Bay funeral.
Yeah.
Explosion.
Yeah, just Michael Bay yourselves, and then, boom, just start from scratch. Like, do what Marvel just did. A fresh start.
For the sake of the podcast, though, we can keep going. We can keep going live. But for the sake of the podcast, you have been listening to Panel by Panel on KSURadio.com, Georgia's #1 online college radio station. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and we're also on YouTube and Twitch, and we are on pbppodcast.com.
Boom.
Wow, you actually got that. But this is DJ
Squeeze
Zio.
that in. It's Mic Drop.
And John Solo.
And Toodles.